What's going on, everybody? It's ShamefulPenguin here, back with another video. Today, I want to go over my Storm Rain Lightning Arrow League Starter, go over some common Q&A stuff that have been answered on comments and stuff, but I've been asked multiple times. Some people don't read all the comments, so they don't know where it's been answered. So I just want to have this update video. You'll notice that my build is different. It is more conforming to the meta Lightning Arrow build that you'll more commonly see on PoE Ninja, and that's because it just works better. Mine's like a halfway hybrid version right now. I don't plan to go the full juicer. Will show you guys the POV of them. Actually, I'll show you right now. So if you look at my build right now, decent amount of uniques. There's these boys in High-Raise Demise, but if you look at the full juicer setup, every bit of it's unique. Obviously there's a Headhunter and a Solstice Vigil. Those two are like mandatory for Headhunter, like if you're using them together. If you're not, then obviously don't use those. But this is for like Legion farming, 5-way Legion farming, and just like if you have an Aurabot, this is like a crazy build. You'll notice that the Arborix, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, most builds are using this bow. And I'm going to go over all this stuff about what I think about the bow, the body armor. But I just wanted to go over that this is the full juicer version. Of course, this guy's using like Expired Learning and all that stuff. But I'm like the halfway version of this where I'm using unique so I can make sure my res is topped off. You'll pair very well with Aurabots and stuff still. But I'm going to go over my choices for each like little thing about it, and hopefully answer a lot of questions for you guys. So the first question I get a lot is Deadeye versus Raider. What I think about it. Obviously I'm Raider, that's what I league start with. And I think Raider is my preferred choice, but I don't think it's going to be everybody's preferred choice. I think it's more of a flavor pick than which one is better, in my opinion. Because Raider just has more consistency in just being fast, right? It always has onslaught and onslaught buff. It always has spell dodge. You get ailment avoidance. You can actually stack, be 100% avoidant. Why is that not working? I am 70% elemental ailment avoidance. You could spec these points right here and just go down here and get the avoidance. These little 30s will top you off to 100%, and you're just topped off. You don't have to have a burn flask, a freeze flask, any of that stuff. You're topped off. But you are sacrificing some points, so that's your choice if that's what you want to do. I haven't done it because I haven't really needed to use it personally. So let's go over Deadeye real quick. Deadeye is a really strong pick. If you're going Deadeye, you're probably specking these 4 points. You could opt to go Wind Ward instead of Far Shot because Wind Ward gives you some good defensive benefits. But if you're going this build, you're probably going full juicer damage. And I think Deadeye is better if you're doing the full, like, I'm going to have an Aurabot. I'm not going to have enough resistance unless I have an Aurabot buffing me kind of build. I think Deadeye is better for that. And I think Raider is better if you're like by yourself, juicer, but you can get an Aurabot sometimes, or you want to like farm maps really fast. I think Raider is the better like in between method, and I think Deadeye is the best. Like, I have a friend that's an Aurabot that's always online with me. I think Deadeye's that better choice, and that's my opinion on that. I could be somewhat wrong on that, but I think Raider is like overall like more fun just because like you can play it solo more often, and still get all the benefits. Yeah, you're getting a chain and +2 proj and stuff, but Raider's just like always faster, like movement speed wide faster. You can pick up stuff faster. There's a lot of benefits that Raider gets that outweighs the like utility of like the chain and projectiles of the Deadeye. Also, yeah, you're getting Tailwind, which I'm not getting Tailwind, but the thing is you can get Tailwind on your boots late game. So like, I don't know. That's like a node. Yeah, you're like getting Onslaught, and you can get Onslaught and phasing from stuff, but you can also get Tailwind from stuff. So it's like, it's your choice. So what I say you need to respec from Deadeye to Raider if you're playing solo and stuff, I would say no. I say Deadeye's good enough. I say Deadeye, like the difference between them is really minimal. If you're noticing yourself like dying all the time as Deadeye and you're hard stuck level 80 or something like that, and you're like blaming it on ailments and stuff, and you can consider going Raider, but it won't fix all your problems. If you're getting hard stuck that low and stuff, it's more of a gear stuff and your playstyle. Your playstyle, you just can't get hit by anything. Both of these builds, Deadeye and Raider, are going to be very squishy, so you got to make sure you can't get hit. So let's go over the next issue, which is mana issues. And there's a few fixes for that. So one of them is the Lionized Fall. This is a unique jewel. It turns things into bow modifiers. I used this in League Start, and then I took it off, and then I put it back on. So I was trying to decide. It's really good if you get like level like 85 plus. It's really good. But when you're like level 70, Lionize kind of mitigates a lot of stuff. I haven't finished my full cluster jewel because I don't have enough points. I want to level up like 2 more times, and then I can unspec something and get my cluster jewel finished. But as of now, I think Lionize is really good, like 85 plus. I think it's like really good because you're getting this leech, life leech and mana leech, so it'll fix the mana problems instantly, pretty much in my opinion. If it's not fixing it, you could have this mana flask, which I'm probably going to get rid of, honestly. I don't have mana issues pretty much ever if you're attacking things. If you're not attacking things, yeah, you're going to be out of mana pretty much the whole time. If you don't have a Lionized Fall, your other option is to go to the bottom right of the tree, spec this mana leech node. It's just 1 point. And if that really doesn't fix it, you can go Essence Sap, and this will like get rid of all your problems. It's like you'll be leeching way more than you need to for mana. So that's your fix. Always keep in mind, use a mana flask if you need to. Enduring mana flask is the best choice. So use that if you need to. Let's go over the next issue, which is bossing. A lot of you guys league started with this and followed my guide, and a lot of you are struggling with bosses, and that's just how the build is, honestly. I do apologize. This wasn't like super league start friendly for like clearing all the bosses and stuff, if that's what your goal was. I was hoping this build would be stronger. Stormwind looked more promising to be like better at single target than I thought it would be. It's pretty good, but it's not like excellent. I still think Barrage is still the better single target DPS, unfortunately, and I may end up switching to that later when I come back to this. But for now, Stormwind's pretty fun. It's a really fun skill. It's not best at clearing, and it's not best at single target unless you get like a really cool stacking damage. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Bossing is just never going to be great unless you have a huge investment on this build, and that's just how it is. If you get an aura bot, you can maybe boss a little bit, but bossing is always gonna be a struggle on these kind of bow builds, like Tornado Shot and all that stuff. Just yeah. Next, I'm gonna go over cluster jewels. Some of you guys have been asking about that. I haven't even myself finished it because I've been changing so much about this build that I didn't want to like hard commit 10 each cluster jewels. But if you get a large cluster jewel, make sure it's lightning damage, because you can get supercharge, and supercharge is, in my opinion, the best jewel you can get, or the best notable you can get. It's just so much damage because you're like non-crit strikes is lucky, so it's just like increasing a lot of DPS. Yeah, if we're like 60% crit, we still have, which is pretty high. I think 40% is like I don't know. It's just lightning damage has such a high range. Like if you read your tooltip, 1,583, or no, 1,088 to 15k lightning damage. So it makes your bottom end a lot. Your bottom end DPS a lot bigger. So I think this is one of the best nodes you can get. So I think lightning damage is the best. This could change if you convert to the cold damage variant that like this guy's doing. I'm not sure if he's using, yeah, he's just using elemental one because he doesn't really care as much. This is like the full juicer strat. Because you're kind of converting to cold. If you notice, they're like using hatred and stuff, which we're gonna go over later. So using a like cold one may be the choice if you're considering going like using hatred. Consider using a cold one. But if you're not using hatred and you're still using wrath, which I still think is the best aura, you're going to want to use this with supercharge, best in slot. And then I would probably use 2 crit cluster jewels, because pressure points is such a good node. Just 5% chance to deal double damage on crits. Like, that's insane. If you get 2 of those, it's 10%. I think that's the best choice. Your next choice is, I actually had in my POB before, is, do I have it linked on there? Yeah. Is using a projectile one with repeater and streamlined. Just gives you projectile speed and damage. And then this one gives you attack and cast speed, which is really good. Attack speed is just, we want as much attack speed as possible. So those are my choice. I would probably opt to get 2 crit nodes nowadays, because this just adds so much extra DPS, especially if you're critting all the time. Next, we're going to go over the choices of bows. So currently, if you see, I'm using a pretty good bow. It's not crazy good. It has tier 2. Oh, no, it's Essence Craft lightning damage. I crafted this myself, but I was using where's my essence? I used a lot of them, so I don't have many left, so I don't have the high end ones. But I was using this node right here. It says other weapon adds 4 to 12 to 142 to 158. So if you have the deafening essence, which is the final essence right here, which is about like, I think it was like 14C when I was buying them before. This essence will pretty much guaranteed slam this roll, which is tier 2 lightning damage. Tier 1 lightning damage is like something to 350 lightning damage, which is huge. It's like huge damage. So if you can get tier 1 lightning damage on your stuff, that's like way better. If you're going the hatred route, maybe consider doing tier 1, trying to slam for cold. So maybe use Essence of Hatred, I think it's called. Where is it? Right, yeah, use a deafening Essence of Hatred maybe to craft your thing for a rare bow. I think rare bows are better in my opinion because they're more consistent in damage. But if you're doing the full juicer strat, of course you can argue whatever reason. But if you're doing the, like, I'm playing by myself, assassin bow is the best base because we're doing crit, good base damage, has a good mix of has a good attack speed. Thicka bow is the second best base you can pick, and the third best is the imperial bow. If you don't know what that means, you can just like Google bow bases and see what I mean. Yeah, if you do the DPS calcs with your bow, all you can do, you just go in here and type in Arborix. You can type in Tempest, Longbow, and add it and all that stuff, and change your bow and see how your DPS affects yours. Tempest will say like best DPS, but that's pretty. It's not good at clearing. Like, yeah, because the attack speed is like insane on it, but I actually don't think Tempest is good outside of League Start. If you're low budget, if you're like level 60 trying to get to level 80, like your early maps, Tempest will be amazing for you. Use it all you want, but once you get into like later game, and Tempest will still say it's like the best DPS out of all your bows, it's just because the attack speed is insane. It's doing such low hits that the clear isn't as good as it could be. So big choice is Arborix. You can see that my I don't even have my bow in here, but like a rare bow, like a good rare bow with lightning, attack speed, and wed and some fizz is already better than Arborix. And that's like before you're using dash skill, because if you use dash you lose all the buffs. Where's the dash skill? Have you used dash recently? It kills your DPS. But the problem with POB is it's not calculating the +2 additional arrows, and that's actually pretty insane for Storm Rain, and it's really good for your clearing, so you get an insane amount of projectiles. So if you're trying to Legion farm or whatever, this is one of the best bows for that. It is one of the best bows for this full juicer strat, so go ahead and use it if you're using that strat. If you're doing like hatred conversion, it's better. But if you're following my guide, or if you're like a raider like me or a Deadeye and you're using Wrath or similar gear sets to me, I think a rare bow, a good rare bow, will take you way further than the Arborix. But that's my choice on that. Any other bows I want to go over? Any other bow, unique bow I've pretty much looked at, they're all worse. I think Tempest is good, like early, big DPS. Rare bow is best universally. The Arborix is best if you're like juicer farming, because of the extra projectiles. Yeah, rare bow, you can get extra projectiles, but it's going to cost you like a crazy amount of currency. So just go for like tier 1 of whatever you're going for. So let's talk about the auras. So right now I'm using Herald of Ice and Hatred. A lot of people opted to go this over Wrath and Herald of Ice because there is a problem with getting enough intelligence. So with max level Herald of Ice, where is it? I have it somewhere. So you can see that a level 14 Herald of Thunder of Herald of Ice is about equal. Oh no, it's not anymore. It's way better on this bow. It depends on the bow you're on. If I go back to Arborix, you can see that 282, and this is like 283. So it's like similar DPS to like a level 14 one. But if you had these at level 20, you're gonna need 155 int, which I don't even have currently. So this can be an issue that causes a lot of people problems. So having a lower leveled Wrath and Herald of Ice will actually be more end-game DPS than Hatred and Herald of Ice. But if you do some things like you get cold damage on your bow instead, you start scaling more cold damage somewhere else. You even consider taking like this cold conversion node and things like that. Hatred will end up being better eventually for that, because like it'll be a higher level than your Wrath, because Wrath you could probably only get to like level 12 and they'll cap off. So you got to make your choice on that. But I am currently running with, I'm going to put back on Herald of Ice or Herald of Thunder in Wrath, go full lightning damage, because it's more DPS for my current iteration of this build. And I'm considering changing to the cold variant with Hatred and all that stuff that this guy's kind of doing. Because like the higher his ire makes the cold variant a lot better. Let's go over the chest pieces. So I'm currently using a 6-link, just a generic 6-link. I didn't even roll this. I bought this and just used it because my resistance was fine and I didn't care. I just wanted to see how it would run. I'm doing more testing. And I was previously running on a 5-link Lionized Vision, which is, do I have one anymore? I don't think I have anyone. I'll show you guys. So we got the Lionized Vision. So it gives you Pierce. So if you have this as a 6-link, it's pretty much a pseudo 7-link. I was recommending to you guys this early game because you can get this 5-link with cheaper than a 6-link, like couple of the early days. But the problem with this body armor is the 160 strength requirement, and that was kind of making me take weird nodes on my passive tree, which was ending up killing my DPS. So I had to I took these nodes because I still need them for something, but I had to end up taking these nodes, and then I had to kill my rings with a lot of int and let me see if I have my previous rings. Yeah, I had to have strength and intelligence on my rings. I had that on my helmet as well. I had like 40 int just to be able to use stuff. And I've kind of backed off that train of thought and started just using a generic 6-link and probably going with a higher ire later on just because of the flat damage. The flat damage is really insane for the chest piece. So, yeah, you get dodge, you get flat damage. It's just really good overall. It's really hard to beat in DPS, even though there were a lightning based skill. Just the flat added damage, and we scale elemental damage so easily. This creates it to be a tier 1 armor. So if you can get this, I recommend using it. That's the route I'm gonna go once I get a little more currency. Maybe invest into a 6-link of this, and that's what I'm gonna go with. So that's like it for the int and strength problem. If you guys have any more questions, you guys can ask me. But the int and strength, mainly the threshold was Wrath and Herald of Ice, or Herald of Thunder, and the fact that you're using Lionized Vision. If you take those off and use Hatred and stuff instead, or change your body armor to a rare one or a higher ire, it'll all be fixed. So consider doing that, or consider getting intelligence and strength on your jewelry if you can. As for the choice of going Ballistica Totem, I wasn't leveling it. So previously we were running Ballistica Totem with our Storm Rain, as many of you know, and I was saying that you guys should try it out, and I highly recommend you use it. But once you get into red maps, the totems die like get one shot by auto attacks. So if you're running yellow maps and you're saying your totems are dying, that's because your totem isn't probably leveled up as high. I got mine to level 20 and it really didn't die too often. Only if it got hit by like big spells or big boss spells and stuff. And plus you can spam it pretty often, so it's like, it's whatever. Totems aren't meant to like you place there and they stay there forever. You place it and it should last probably about 5 or 6 seconds before you have to replace it again. And it's a really easy way to do early game DPS for like early maps. But once you get in the late game, I think Mirage Archer is actually superior, just because of the free will of casting it. Unfortunately, I think I really wanted Ballistica Totem to be the best, but it does die pretty often. I consider going back to it if I can get the colors perfect for it. But I think I'm staying with Mirage Archer as long as I'm using Storm Rain for now on. It's pretty fun to use. Just when you cast it once on a pack of enemies, then you get the Mirage Archer while you're mapping. So it's another cool little tech you can do. But I think Mirage Archer is actually better for late game, and early game totems are way, way better. And yeah, that's pretty much it about the questions I've had. So obviously you want to copy the gear pieces. I'll go over this is a common quiver that everyone uses. It's just so much base damage for strength and dex. Fractal Thoughts is really good because we get a lot of dexterity, so we get a lot of elemental damage. Make sure your dex is higher than your int, which is guaranteed, and then your strength is higher than your int to get more dex. Pretty easy stuff to do. It's just for more damage. Tamings are really good because they give you all resistance. You can get pretty much 40 all resistance on these jewels, and they're giving you 30% elemental damage and 30% elemental damage with attacks. So you're getting 60%, and then you're getting damage with hits and ailments per freeze and stuff. So we're shocking and freezing a lot of the time because we do have some cold damage, and then sometimes we ignite, not too often, so we can get a bunch of damage. So run 2 of these tamings. This will immediately boost your DPS like crazy. And yeah, as for everything else, I'm just using rare gloves with life and res, attack speed, boots with movement speed, life res, amulet. I do need to upgrade this, but it's pretty decent for what it is. Just crit multi, life and resistance are your most important, and then if you can get attack speed, lightning damage, cold damage, any of that stuff will scale really well. Your belt, you just want like life, and you want this to be an abyssal jewel because you get a lot of damage from your abyss jewels, most importantly searching eye jewels, because it's a lot of flat damage. And yeah, hopefully I answered most of your guys' questions. I'm trying to think of anything else. Not really any gem swaps. You guys can check it out. Just the auras that are changing every once in a while. But once I get more comfortable with it, I will let you guys know. I'll update the POB to replicate my current build, and so you guys can like follow this more clearly. I can do red maps pretty much no problem. I can't clear it like immediately. I do need a little more damage to help me out with that, so that's potentially upgrading my bow. That will increase that DPS quite a bit, and just like getting all my gems to 21 or 20 quality and all that kind of stuff will increase my DPS quite a bit. So yeah, that's it for I had for the update video. This video is a lot longer than I was hoping, but I hope I answered a lot of your questions, and I hope this you just like skip to the questions that you needed answered. Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'm gonna be playing a new build for my boss DPS because I do want to get all these challenges done, and a lot of these are like killing bosses conditionally, killing all these bosses and stuff. So I'm gonna make a boss killer, and I'm gonna make a leveling guide for that video, so you guys keep an eye out for that video. That's gonna come out very soon. And it's kind of meta. I'm sorry, it's a meta build, but it's really strong. I really want to play it. It's also purple. That's the only hit you get. Anyways, thank you guys for checking out this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.